Alright, we're at the yard where we park our stuff. It looks clean. It's not clean though. It's a fucking mess, and some retard parked his truck like that. Look, why like that? There's a million other spaces to go. So it's Mark, Uncle Joe, Chippy, some other degenerates fucking trailer that he parks here. So we're on a job today. It's a simple job, cleaning up a couple of trees. Very simple. A lot of it can be done ground level with a pole saw. I have a hedge trimmer because we're kind of raising the canopy of some sort of fucking willow bush. I don't know what it is. It's a tree bush. Who knows? Who cares? Yeah, the job's not super exciting today, but it's more about the journey. And we've been doing some upgrades on Uncle Joe lately. We changed the carbonator. We put a new one, like an aftermarket one from Amazon, and just standard stock. We'd want to put an upgraded one, but later. Ours was giving us a lot of trouble, so I'm just gonna hand this to Mark. Thank you. So ours is giving us a lot of trouble. So what it would do, when we bought the truck over a year ago, the original owner told us that you had to pump the gas 10 times to start it, which you did, and that's if you were driving it every day. If you went like a day or two without driving it, you had to pump it like 15 times. So anyway, whatever. Might as well show you guys anyway. Take this off. I don't like the wing nut on this, but you can fix that easy enough. So all the things we changed the master cylinder, changed the starter down there, solenoid, battery, obviously. We added wipers because the original wipers on these old trucks are shit. Changed the alternator, changed the belts, and I want to hold that. And there's the new carburetor. So we did a basic tune on it, and we tried, because they say that if it doesn't start with one pump, then it's badly adjusted in any sort of weather. So that's what we've been doing, and right out of the box it started with one pump on a relatively chilly day. Not that cold, but it's around 5 degrees right now outside, maybe a little 5 degrees Celsius, so it's kind of chilly. So we're gonna have to keep resetting it until we get to the right cold temperature. Because yeah, you could just keep pumping it and squirting more gas into it, but it works a lot better when it's done properly. Another thing is that before, we had to wait until the truck was completely warm before we could go anywhere, and completely warm. So fucking temperature gauge doesn't get up past a third, but it used to take a long time, and if you didn't wait long enough, the car would buck. It would buck in every gear. So right now, just in case, because we put the carbonator on a couple of days ago, and we've still had to make some adjustments sometimes, so I take my screwdriver out and I get ready to possibly adjust the high idle if I need to. Just a flathead screwdriver, which is really cool to be able to fucking you know, make your adjustments with such a fucking mundane tool. So I have this little guy ready here, a little screwdriver kit ready to go, and gonna pump the gas once, and Mark is gonna tell me if it closed. And just one pump, guys, not 10, not 15.
Didn't close.
I didn't pump it.
Okay, good.
Here, film it.
Yep.
That's our carbonator with one pump. With fucking minimal knowledge. High idle screw caught. Choke is still closed. It's gonna gradually open up. It's actually gonna idle a bit higher, but that's it, guys. Fucking one fucking pump. And neither of us knows what we're doing, by the way. We learn as we go. So, okay, you can put it back on if you don't mind. Another thing we did, we changed the oil yesterday and oil filter, because even though it leaks oil from an undisclosed location, we've changed the oil a bunch of times, you know, filling it back up and topping it up and changing the valve covers and shit. It went empty, but we haven't changed the oil filter for a year. And yeah, it's like a high mileage oil filter, K&N or whatever. It's supposed to be good for like 15,000 kilometers, synthetic and shit, but still, that doesn't matter. So it had gone probably a little bit further than what it should have gone on it. It's not our daily driver. We also changed the gear oil yesterday, because the gear oil was really old.
And I don't think it had ever been changed. It was low, so certain gears were harder to get into and they were grinding. So we found where it was. We changed it all out from like almost a dark brown, almost black, to this like golden brown. And now it runs a lot smoother.
So now it's on high idle. For some reason, it catches a high idle right away, but it goes up a little bit after a minute or two, which is fine. I adjusted the high idle screw a little bit in the fucking heat, I mean in the cold, so that it would catch. And before, oh yeah, it used to also fucking bog down when we would change gears. And before, even if it was warm, when I would fucking take off in first gear, I had to give gas, otherwise it would stall. And even if I did give gas, it still wanted to stall. So now, in about a minute or so, I'm gonna feather the gas pedal, it's gonna fucking rev down, and we're gonna back up to Chippy. Low idle now. So you guys heard that? That was pretty fucking quiet.
And I'll get behind and push. Sorry.
Sure. Alright. Do go down. I fucked it up, but I can fix it. Should be good.
No. So it's
do go down.
You see the actual. You can see the actual catch.
Yeah, I know. I saw it, but anyway, just wasn't catching. So that's that. We're pretty much ready. Again, it's not even fully warm yet, but it's warm enough to drive. The thing that sucks is that this job is like 45 minutes. See, look at this fucking retard. Look at this fucking idiot. Conrad, if you're watching, if you park like this, fuck you. So, how I'm gonna get out now? Where I'm gonna go from? It's a real pain to fucking back up with a chipper. Look, see, there's just enough obstacles for me to fucking not be able to go. And go that way, oh, there's a pile of tires there. Park this here, park that there. Can't fucking make this turn. Can't go there. Probably that way. Want to laugh? Laugh at me. Let's see what I have to do here. Here's where it has issues now. Going into first. 1, 2. Grind, fuck, see. Why is that? Ground pounder, why does it do that? Tell me. We changed the gear oil, so now it almost always grinds going into first gear. But, and what we were doing for the past year, at traffic lights and shit, we put the clutch in and wait like fucking 5 seconds before shifting. And then it doesn't usually grind, but lately it's been grinding even when we do that. So at traffic lights and stuff to take off, I have to put it into second gear and then first. It's like I have to put it into second gear to wake it up, and it doesn't usually grind going into second gear, and then I put it into first after that. Yeah, give me some room, you fucking fat bitch. Buddy, someone call us? Why even call out to us when we're fucking driving like this? We really have much larger problems to fight. Even if no one did call, I'm still ranting.
It might have been the saw shop.
Yeah, maybe. relatively well adjusted. They say you're supposed to turn both idle mixture screws in basically all the way and then turn them out 1.5 turns, potentially even 2 turns to get to factory settings and make adjustments since then. When all is said and done, we turn them out about 2 turns each. We turn them out 1.5 turns and then turn them outwards more to listen to the fucking engine revving higher, but we couldn't really hear it making any difference. My ear's not that accustomed to the subtle changes yet, so those are the settings that we're using right now for the time being. Getting onto the highway, people are up my ass, but fuck them. It's only 70 here anyway, but going up the hill with Chippy and back. New carburetor, we shouldn't slow down too much. But we have assholes like this now going in front of me to drive slower, which I don't condone. No speed lots, good buddy. Alright, here's a setup for the day. Pole saw, rakes, broom. I also have a shovel, it's in there. 150, 200, rigging rope just in case, 100 feet of climbing rope, climbing bag, wheelbarrow, hedge trimmer, leak-proof gas. Speaking of leaks, our truck's already leaking oil. It's coming from the oil filter, it's coming from the oil pan nut bolt, but those are both tight. They shouldn't be leaking. They're also the lowest point on the engine, so I don't know why it's leaking. Maybe I'll show you guys later. This engine's always leaking oil, and at least it's not dripping anymore. The gear oil is not coming out, at least so it seems for now. Might be a few drips, so you might need to tighten those 2 bolts a little bit, but we have a spare. And that's important. We keep spare of everything. All the oil that we changed, we keep a spare of. So there's spare motor oil in there, and it's the same oil that Chippy takes. So we have that too. Spare radiator fluid, brake fluid, just in case. There's spare gear oil, just in case. And there's spare antifreeze, just in case. There's spare oil additive, just in case. Then we have a ratchet set, which is 274 pieces, which is enough to do pretty much every single repair that we've had to do so far under the hood. So that's that. And we're raising the canopy of this. We're trimming and thinning this, raising the canopy of this. And we're getting rid of the branches near the wires, near the other tree, near the telephone pole, and near the wires over there, and basically shit like that. So Saturday morning, that's what we're doing. GoPro, stop recording.